I'm glad to see you guys there. My name is Susan Lin. So today I'm going to continue my IELTS Part 3 practice. So the question 1 might be, what kind of job people like to do? So this question, it depends on different generation. For example, in the generation X, which were mostly like in the 70s or 80s years, they are just seek for some job with security. Most of them expect to do 30 years jobs with some fringe benefits like social insurance or some emergency insurance, that kind of thing. While for the generation Y, that's equally named as generation, that means also the millennial, those millennial and the generation Z, someone called them as snowflakes because they are more independent and they are likely to have other ones to get everything done for them, so they are more likely to be independent, and also they demand some job have high automation and also has a wider range of fringe benefits. Not only the social insurance they always like to have, but also the gym or some Google scenario like the free lunch of some cafeteria in their company. So I think that's kind of people like to do in that. Also, I'll answer for a wrong one. This is must go for what kind of job people like to do. So for the question 2, which is more important, money and job? To be honest, money is important, while interesting or other kinds of aspects of the job are also more important, because money can buy you anything. Like many people have to earn paycheck to paycheck to pay off their mortgage every month. But at the same time, if these jobs make you quite stretched out, make you very frustrating, that will demotivate someone to continue that kind of job. So a job with some is rewarding, like the mental rewarding, that people are very enjoy doing this kind of interesting job because those jobs are very interesting or challenging or give them some kind of level of satisfaction, that I will encourage all people to do that kind of job instead of just making money out of job. And finally, a very interesting job may help people to gain some positive psychological effect which will benefit their health as well. So the question 3, why do people travel out of hometown to find a job? I think for the one thing why people travel abroad to find a job, because out of hometown to find a job, because they might live in a very tiny countryside where jobs opportunities are lack, so they prefer travel abroad to find more job opportunities in some big cities. And that's the one reason. And on the other hand, the other reason why they travel to that kind of area to find a job is because they think the jobs there are quite interesting and challenging, and also they may consider their children's education may be better those, because we know that the city's educations, the school, were more likely to be better than the countryside, so they may take their children's education into consideration on where to find their jobs, and they preferred area that with good education facilities and resources. So that's the two main reasons, the education system or the job opportunities. Okay, and for the question 4, future people to change, what future job people would change in the future. So future about the job will change in the future. In the past, when people are just sitting in a closed room to do their jobs with some stacks of paper lying up on the desk and with a pen, while nowadays people will be more likely to use computer to do their jobs. And also I think most of the jobs will require people to have some kind of coding skills, because with the advancement of the technology and also with the technology focused requirements on those future jobs, it may demand people that they need to that means to some automation of the routine job will be replaced by some robots. For example, I see some restaurants, they use the robots. It's not like human being, it's just a plate around the table. So when people take an order, the plate will deliver the food to the people. So some labor intensive job might be replaced by the robot. Okay, so the question 5. How have attitudes to jobs and the workplace changed in recent years? I think this question is quite like the question 1. The attitudes to jobs, like the Generation X in the 70s and 80s generation, they think that the job security is quite important, and most of them prefer to stay in one job for 30 years, and they expect only a few fringe benefits, some basic fringe benefits like the social insurance or the Canadian pension plan. That's just enough for them. While for the Generation Y and Generation Z, they are just like snowflakes. They are expect the jobs have some extra benefits like the gym, like the cafeteria, where provide free lunch for them. And also the workplace have changed quite a lot in the past, between the past and now, because in the past people tend to work in a closed room with a stack of paper lying in the desk, and they are writing something with pen, while nowadays people used to work in a very relatively open area. They are working in a less hierarchy environment where the open places is very common in our office room, because there are less hierarchy, so people with different levels are kind of working in the same open area. So that kind of workplace changed. And the attitude about is, in the past people expect to stay for a long time in a job, while nowadays people tend to change their job every year or just half month, because the Generation X and the Generation Y and Z want to experience more life perspective. So that's kind of different. Okay, and for the question 6. So what do the psychological effect of work? So psychological effect of work can have two sides. On the one side, work can have a very positive psychological effect if it is challenging and there's support from your boss or from your colleagues. While on the other side, the job, the work could be a very detrimental effect if the office politics there is quite fierce. People just compete with each other regardless of what kind of tactics they use. So people working there might feel very frustrated because they need to compete with each other all the time, and they just keep their mind of people that someone will set a trap to them, so that they kind of feel demotivated in that kind of office politics atmosphere. So that kind of job will have a very negative effect of the psychological health. Okay, and for the question 7, what kind of the work motivate young people in the workplace? I think the kind of work that motivates young people in the first place is that kind of some challenging work, because the young people nowadays, they are expect some fringe benefits of the job, so they like some challenging jobs with diversified working environment. And also the young people like traveling, so work that has many travel opportunities might gain some young people's favor, because the young people, most of them, they don't start their family at a very young age. They are solo. That they aren't concerned about their family caring, so they can expect the travel. They can go anytime. So that's my sharing and practice today. Hope you guys enjoy. Bye.